As we age, our nutritional needs change, and so do the ways our bodies process food. For many seniors, frozen foods are a convenient and affordable way to keep meals on the table. But not all frozen foods are created equal. Some can quietly undermine your health, while others can be powerful allies in maintaining energy, strength, and independence. In this article, we'll reveal 4 frozen foods seniors should avoid, and 4 that can be part of a healthy daily diet. We'll also share tips for making the best choices in the frozen food aisle, so you can enjoy the convenience without sacrificing your well-being. 4 frozen foods seniors should never eat. 1. Frozen dinners, TV dinners. High in sodium. Why avoid? Frozen dinners, especially classic TV dinners, are notorious for their high sodium content. Many contain over 1,000 milligrams of sodium per serving, which is nearly half the recommended daily limit for older adults. Excess sodium can raise blood pressure, increase the risk of heart disease and stroke, and worsen kidney function. What to watch for? Slashdisbury steak, fried chicken, and country gravy meals. Fithing labeled hearty or family size. Sols with sauces, gravies, or cheese. Better choice. If you must buy a frozen meal, look for options labeled low sodium, less than 600 milligrams per serving, and check the nutrition label carefully. 2. Frozen breaded and fried foods. Why? Avoid. Frozen chicken nuggets, fish sticks, onion rings, and similar breaded items are often loaded with unhealthy fats, sodium, and refined carbohydrates. These foods are typically pre-fried before freezing, meaning they're high in calories and trans fats, which can raise bad LDL cholesterol and lower good HDL cholesterol. What to watch for? Chicken nuggets, tenders, or patties, frozen lish sticks or breaded fish fillets, mozzarella sticks, jalapeno poppers, or similar snacks. Better choice. Opt for plain unbreaded frozen chicken or fish fillets, which you can season and bake at home. 3. Frozen pizzas and calzones. Why? Avoid. Frozen pizzas and calzones are convenient, but they are often packed with sodium, saturated fat, and processed meats like pepperoni or sausage. The crusts are usually made from refined white flour, offering little fiber or nutrition. What to watch for? Frozens with extra cheese or meat toppings, stuffed crust or deep dish varieties, respondents or pizza zones or pizza pockets. Better choice. If you crave pizza, look for thin crust veggie pizzas with whole grain crusts, or make your own using whole wheat pita bread, tomato sauce, and fresh veggies. 4. Frozen desserts and pastries. Why? Avoid. Frozen pies, cakes, turnovers, and ice cream treats are high in added sugars, unhealthy fats, and empty calories. Regularly eating these foods can contribute to weight gain, diabetes, and heart disease, conditions that are already more common in older adults. What to watch for? Rose and cream pies, cheesecakes, or eclairs. Sandwiches, bars, or tubs. Toasters better choice. For a sweet treat, try frozen fruit bars made with real fruit and no added sugar, or make your own nice cream by blending frozen bananas. 4 frozen foods that boost health daily. 1. Frozen vegetables, no sauce or seasoning. Why they're great. Frozen vegetables are picked at peak ripeness and flash frozen, preserving their nutrients. They're often just as healthy, or even healthier, than fresh produce that's been sitting on the shelf. They're also pre-washed and pre-cut, making them easy to add to any meal. Best choices: back broccoli, spinach, kale, and mixed vegetables. Get string beans, peas, carrots, and cauliflower. How to use: add to soups, stews, stir-fries, or simply steam and season with herbs and a drizzle of olive oil. 2. Frozen berries and fruit, no added sugar. Why they're great. Frozen berries, like blueberries, strawberries, and raspberries, are rich in antioxidants, fiber, and vitamin C. They support brain health, heart health, and immune function. Frozen fruit is also a great way to enjoy out-of-season produce year-round. Best choices: blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, blackberries. Mango, pineapple, peaches. How to use: add to oatmeal, yogurt, smoothies, or enjoy as a cool snack. 3. Frozen fish fillets, unbreaded, unseasoned. Why they're great. Fish is an excellent source of lean protein and omega-3 fatty acids, which are important for heart and brain health. Frozen fish fillets are convenient and often more affordable than fresh fish. Best choices: almond, cod, tilapia, haddock, pollock. How to use: bake, grill, or steam with your favorite herbs and a squeeze of lemon. Avoid breaded or pre-seasoned varieties, which can be high in sodium and unhealthy fats. 4. Frozen whole grains. Why they're great. Frozen brown rice, quinoa, and other whole grains are a time-saving way to add fiber, vitamins, and minerals to your meals. Fiber is especially important for seniors, as it supports digestive health and helps control blood sugar. Best choices: rate rice, quinoa, barley, farro. How to use: heat and serve as a side dish, or mix into soups, salads, and casseroles. Tips for smart frozen food shopping. 1. Lost the labels. Look for foods with short ingredient lists and no added sugars, sodium, or unhealthy fats. 2. Watch the sodium. The American Heart Association recommends no more than 1,500 milligrams of sodium per day for most adults, especially seniors. 3. Added sugars. Choose fruits and vegetables with no added sugar or syrup. 4. Check for fiber. Whole grains and vegetables should have at least 2 to 3 grams of fiber per serving. 5. Complete control. Even healthy frozen foods can be high in calories if you eat too much. Pay attention to serving sizes. 6. Keep the sauces. Sauces and gravies often add extra sodium, sugar, and fat. Buy plain and add your own seasonings at home. When shopping for frozen foods, it's best to choose plain options, like unseasoned vegetables, fruits, fish, or grains, and add your own herbs and spices at home. This way you control the amount of salt, sugar, and fat in your meals, making them healthier and more suited to your personal taste. Why frozen foods can be a smart choice for seniors. Convenience. Frozen foods are incredibly convenient, especially for seniors who may not have the time, energy, or desire to spend long hours in the kitchen. There's no need for washing, peeling, or chopping, just open the bag and cook. This can make meal preparation much easier and less tiring. Reduced waste. With frozen foods, you can use only what you need and return the rest to the freezer for later. This helps prevent food waste, which is especially important for those living alone or cooking for 1 or 2 people. You won't have to worry about fresh produce spoiling before you can use it. Nutrition. Many people don't realize that frozen foods can be just as nutritious as fresh. In fact, fruits and vegetables are often flash frozen at their peak ripeness, which helps lock in vitamins and minerals. This means you can enjoy healthy, nutrient-rich foods year-round, regardless of the season. Affordability. Frozen foods are often less expensive than their fresh counterparts, especially when certain items are out of season. This can make it easier to stick to a budget while still enjoying a variety of healthy foods. Frozen foods can be a real blessing for seniors, offering convenience, nutrition, and affordability. However, they can also be a burden if you choose the wrong types. It's best to avoid frozen dinners that are high in sodium, fried snacks, and sugary desserts, as these can negatively impact your health. Instead, stock your freezer with plain, unseasoned vegetables, fruits, fish, and whole grains. These wholesome choices will help you stay strong, energized, and independent, so you can continue to enjoy life to the fullest. Remember, when in doubt, choose frozen foods that look as close to their natural state as possible. The fewer added ingredients, the better. Your body, and your taste buds, will thank you for making healthier choices that support your well-being and vitality. Making the most of your freezer. Additional tips for seniors. While the right frozen foods can be a valuable part of a healthy diet, it's also important to think about how you use and store them. Here are a few more strategies to help you get the most out of your freezer and maintain a nutritious lifestyle. 1. Stock up on variety. Don't be afraid to try new frozen vegetables, fruits, or grains. Rotating different types of produce and proteins can help ensure you get a wide range of nutrients. For example, try adding frozen edamame for plant-based protein or frozen butternut squash for extra vitamin A. 2. Batch cooking and freezing. If you enjoy cooking, consider making larger batches of healthy soups, stews, or casseroles and freezing individual portions. This way, you'll always have a homemade, nutritious meal ready to go, perfect for days when you don't feel like cooking from scratch. 3. Watch for hidden ingredients. Even foods that seem healthy can sometimes contain hidden sugars, sodium, or preservatives. Always check the ingredient list, and remember that the best choices are those with just 1 or 2 ingredients, like broccoli or salmon. 4. Use frozen foods to reduce food waste. Frozen foods have a long shelf life, which means you can use only what you need and save the rest for later. This is especially helpful for seniors who may be cooking for 1 or 2 people and want to avoid throwing away spoiled produce. 5. Pair frozen foods with fresh. You don't have to choose between fresh and frozen. Using both can help you create balanced, flavorful meals. For example, toss frozen peas into a fresh salad, or add frozen berries to a bowl of fresh fruit. 6. Mind the microwave. While microwaving is a quick way to prepare frozen foods, be sure to follow package instructions for even heating. Stir halfway through cooking to avoid cold spots, and let food stand for a minute or two after microwaving to ensure it's heated through. 7. Plan ahead for special diets. If you have dietary restrictions such as low sodium, diabetic, or gluten-free needs, look for frozen foods specifically labeled for your diet. Many brands now offer options that cater to a variety of health needs. 8. Don't forget hydration. Frozen fruits like berries, mango, or peaches can be blended with water or low-fat yogurt to make refreshing smoothies, which are a great way to stay hydrated and get extra nutrients. Remember, the freezer is a tool that can help you eat well, save money, and reduce stress around meal planning. By making thoughtful choices and reading labels, you can enjoy the convenience of frozen foods without compromising your health. If you're ever unsure about a product, don't hesitate to ask your healthcare provider or a registered dietitian for advice. Eating well as you age doesn't have to be complicated or expensive. With a little planning and the right frozen foods on hand, you can nourish your body, support your independence, and savor every meal, one healthy bite